Hey everyone, welcome to our ongoing development series. Over the last few weeks, over the last several weeks, we've been exploring how to work with tarot cards, psycards, and then kind of gently making our way and understanding how spirit make contact. We've looked at how that contact kind of shows up, turns up in the many forms that it can show itself, and importantly, what kind of motivates spirit to make contact. We've also explored how to kind of begin to understand spirit guides, begin to understand how they make contact with us. We've also kind of explored a guided meditation as well. I hope that's all unfolding for you. And as I kind of mentioned along the way, one of the kind of really useful things to do is to kind of keep a journal of your experiences. So as we go forwards, we're going to really kind of enrich and really kind of understand and once again practically apply some techniques that you can begin to kind of really enrich your development and your experience. So as we go forwards from time to time, I'm going to take some of the subscribers' questions, begin to kind of explore them, begin to answer them. These ones come in actually via our Facebook page, Spirit Meets Adventure. And it's a lady that's been working with her Psycards. She's just recently brought some, and I think this question applies to any set of cards that you may have, i.e. tarot cards, Psycards, oracle cards, okay? And I'm going to, as we go forwards, explain to you why I work with the cards. There's a real reason why we work with the cards in the way we do. You know, holistic mediumship is absolutely motivated by contact to move people's lives forwards. It's solution orientated rather than prediction orientated, but there is an absolute reason why Spirit and I work with the cards in the way we do, and we kind of explore that as we go forward. So the question is, hi, I've just bought some Psycards. How do I make them my own? I think that's a lovely question. And it's a very simple answer, a really simple answer from Spirit. How to make them your own is to absolutely start using them. Begin to build a relationship with them, you know, which is why I say to you, keeping a journal is going to be really kind of beneficial, because if you kind of keep a journal and you begin to kind of build a relationship with your cards, you know, a few times a week, you know, kind of lay them out, you know, kind of randomly pick a card, see what it's telling you, what else do you see in it differently from the times before, you know. And I think that's a really important point. Those of you that follow the weekly insights on our Facebook page, you will see that sometimes the same card will come up weeks or even a couple of months later. Yet somehow the message can be different, because it's absolutely reading that card in the moment, in the here and now. And the other thing is, you're going to kind of begin to access information beyond the card, yeah, because you'll start kind of receiving information from the innate, from the unseen, if that be your guides, your helpers. If you're kind of beginning to read for people, you're kind of exploring that. I always say it's really good to read for friends of friends, you know, to be able to kind of grow this, nurture this and develop this. Is that, you know, no one person's the same, and you know, that card can have a very different meaning tomorrow for someone else, you know. You'll always extract what seems relevant in the moment. Just allow the cards to speak to you. So how do I make the cards my own? Use them. I'd really encourage you to kind of, you know, get them out, start using them, start forming a relationship with them. You know, what is it that you see? What is it that you feel? What does that key in? And the lady, it's a lady called Julie. She's gone on to say, also, what do I do with the Now card? These are the Psycards. So let's get the Now card out and explore that. never card, and the now card. So yeah, Julie goes on to say, also, what do I do with the now card? This is a beautiful card. Okay, there was a metaphor and a story that Spirit taught me. So there's a metaphor and a story that Spirit taught me about this card. Is the now card. So if you can see, it's the harvest. Okay, so the gentleman's in the field, he's reaping the harvest. You know, for me, this is about all the hard work previously begins to pay dividends. Okay, so all the work previously begins to pay off. All the hard work leading up to this point begins to come together. The other thing is there's a wonderful story that Spirit taught me, which is the story of the farmer. Now, to receive the harvest, you have to plant the seed. So the farmer, he'll plant the seed, he'll then nurture the seed, he'll water that seed, he'll take care of it, and the seed starts to kind of take to a plant. And then what he's got to do is then he's got to step back, and he's got to trust the process that nature is going to take care of that, and then it's going to kind of grow into a harvest. So sometimes what you've got to do is absolutely trust the process. Sometimes step back, trust the process, know all the hard work previously is going to pay dividends. So it's the now card. Love this card. Is very, very kind of powerful. Wonderful story, and you see the sunlight there as well. So yeah, brilliant. I love that card. Julie's gone to say as well, what do I do with the never card? I think the never card is absolutely, completely the opposite in many ways. The other important thing is, you know, those of you who have been following the Psycard, how to work with the Psycards or how to work with the Tarot Cards development series. You know, there's a 5-card system that I use. If you haven't kind of watched that, it might be really, really kind of good to kind of go over that back now. I will put a link within this video as well so you can find it. But it all depends where this card lands in amongst the other cards and what the story begins to kind of bolt together. Remember, you know, when you're kind of looking at the 5-card system, you're looking at, you know, every card has a position, what needs to be done, challenge, a problem, solution, outcome, key card, future timeline. You know, it may be that this comes out as a key card, and it may be saying that you're overcoming, you're getting beyond all the negativity, all the kind of darkness, all the kind of trauma. Or it might be that it's the what needs to be done. What do you need to let go of? What is it that is creating trauma for you? You know, so it depends where the card lands. But to me, this is kind of quite a suppressive card. It's quite a traumatic card. But, you know, what do you guys see? What do you guys see? The other card, which seems to have disappeared from my pack, which is interesting, which is the Enquirer card. Now, within the Psycards, I believe the Enquirer card is absolutely the person that you're kind of maybe consulting for. You know, is a sense of self. So if the Enquirer card comes up, you know, and again, depending on what the position it is, say for instance, it comes up as the challenge or the problem. Well, to me, that would say that the person has lost all sense of self. You know, if it was a solution card, it is actually the answers lay within you. Trust your instinct, trust your knowing. What is it that you're not trusting within yourself? Or is it that someone's creating doubt for you? Whatever way you kind of read that, depending on where it lands, I would say it's always about the sense of self. And in many ways, it's the person that's inquiring into the consultation. So it's about them. You know, so, you know, if it kind of comes out as the outcome, well, maybe through the changes you're making, you're beginning to find a deeper sense of you, you know. So it always depends the story around it, but that will give you some kind of guidance to be able to get your teeth into it. Okay. Now another interesting card that come up on the Facebook Live on Spirit Meets Adventure, is I go and find it, was the prison card. Okay. Let's go and find it. It is here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is a wonderful card as well. Okay, so this come up on our last Facebook live weekly insights, and you know, there's a real sense with this card that sometimes we are the jailer of our own prisons. If you kind of watch my previous video, which was actually on the Facebook live, this card come up, and you know, quite often we can be the jailer of our own prisons. You know, what is it that we're holding ourselves to? What pain are we holding on to? Are we holding ourselves in pain? Are we being the jailer of our own prisons? You know, one of the ladies, Josephine Rock, said, "What's the light doing? What's this light about? Bathing this person within the prison." Well, to me, that there's hope. Okay, there is light. There is the potential. There is the opportunity to absolutely transform this situation. That we don't need to hold ourselves within that place. There is a kind of sense that sometimes I kind of get the sense with this card that actually the door's open, which is why I say to you, you know, sometimes we are the jailer of our own prison. So another interesting card, but I would say that light is to do with illumination, it's to do with hope, it's to do with potential, that the situation absolutely can be transformed. Sometimes we feel that we cannot move the other side of it. You know, one of the things that holds us in this sort of kind of place or this sort of situation within our lives is the fear of the unknown. It's the fear that, you know, if I kind of move away from this, what am I moving into? Am I moving into an emptiness? Am I moving into a void? So sometimes it seems comfortable to stay where we are, but what we need to gently do is trust in ourselves, trust in the process, and find that courage to step into the unknown. And actually the unknown is never a void, it's never an empty place. You know, but what we do is we're like, you know, what if it's worse than where I am? Maybe I'm better off staying where I am, because we don't trust that we have a future. Quite often our future can be greater than our past if we allow ourselves to move towards it. And the other thing is sometimes we outgrow where we are, we outgrow the situations that we find ourselves in, and then we kind of, you know, become bigger than it. But sometimes what we do is we squeeze ourselves, we hold ourselves back. There's a wonderful kind of video that I'm going to put up on Spirit Meets Adventure about the lobster. The lobster grows within its shell, and sometimes the shell needs to kind of break open. You know, as you kind of grow, you need to kind of break open from where you are. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that's kind of stirred up some thought about working with tarot cards or even oracle cards, and you know, very much so the Psycards, and kind of exploring the Now card, the Never card, the Enquirer card, and Josephine's question about the Prison card. I'm going to leave that with you all. I hope you're enjoying the development series. As I say, you can find my daily kind of content on my Facebook page, which is Spirit Meets Adventure, and those of you that are watching this through Spirit Meets Adventure, you can find a whole resource and library of videos on my YouTube channel if you search Shane Gadd. Okay guys, thanks very much. See you all soon. Bye bye.